Okay, greetings. I will start my speech in three, two, one. Imagine a world when you can balance your educational school with your lifestyle and social engagement in other aspects that will make you have the ability to develop skills and knowledge. Well, that's actually the world that we are proposing. Now, what is our stance in this matter? Our stance is simple that we are proud to propose that we fully support the permanent move to online tertiary education for its necessity and importance in the future, both in personal lives and also in society in general. Now, let's define some actors. First of all, the students. Well, what do? They want to learn, they want to be told to learn. And what's their goal? They want to learn fondly. They want to learn in fun manner. They want to learn effectively. They also want to have fun. Well, how do they think? If they see something is fun and they see that it is worth learning for, then they will go for it. But that's not only going to talk about knowledge, they also will go talking about skills. And by online tertiary education and its flexibility, you can have that. Now, how do they take ads? If they see something is fun, something is good, okay, they will engage. Okay. Now let's talk about the parents. Well, what do they do in general? They raise their children and their work, their goal. They want to make sure the children have the best one, the best treatment. Okay. How do they think? If they think that it's good for their children, they will do it. And how do they take acts? Well, basically, they think that it is good, they will do it. That's actually the ideal position here about what should parents do. Now, what about teachers? Okay, teachers are like the third actor. This they teach students. Okay, they teach students what's their goal. They want to teach effectively, and they also perhaps want to work in other aspects because teacher wages are not very much high compared to other jobs. And how do they think? If they see something is effective, they will do that. I think that's good for them. And then after that, they will take action. Okay, this is effective. I will do this while I'm doing something else. That's good. What about government? They decide the best policy. If they think it's good, then they will do it. And that's why we must think more about the teachers, um, the students, and also the parents. Now, what about permanent move? We change from unconventional school to on tertiary school, that which basically is a form of education mainly based in online, with the characteristic of teachers and students able to access it in all times, all place, powered with artificial intelligence, and also needs web development. Now we target the work that have basically flexibility, and basically we can obtain skills while we are in school. That's a pretty good thing actually, and that's not actuated today. Mechanism, we will prove how online education should be supported because of its superiority compared to offline education, and we'll prove how online education offers a better life quality for the actors of the motion. So because of that, we will make two arguments, okay, that basically stems from the mechanism that we have stated before. The first, conventional school is lacking, and it should evolve into online education that is superior inherently to let students have time for both skills and knowledge. Well, what do we mean by superior? It's actually something that's practically easier to do and principally good for the essence of learning itself. Well, what is so superior in online tertiary education? First of all, we have better accessibility. You don't have to go to anywhere. You just have to access your phone, open your phone, you get to sleep, perhaps, and then you go back and you can access it. Time flexibility, you can do it while you're sleeping, you can do it anywhere, anytime, basically. And also, come on, people are already familiar with the technology. And basically, online tertiary education's own structure is already promising for the actuation of the three aspects that we are talking about. So we don't have to think about going to school by transportation, etc. Now, learning has been stagnant. Just admit that, okay? In 1900s and today's class, it's almost nothing's different. And the problem is the same. People don't have skills. People don't have necessary things that they can do in order to get to work. So it seemingly like school is unnecessary for some of them. It's something that is already being talked about in so many places in social media, and we should consider for the future. Students will be workers or will be entrepreneurs. So we must think about their skills. Okay. Now let's imagine someone who's very diligent, very good at school, very good theoretically, but at the end he doesn't get any jobs. Why? Because he doesn't have time for skills. He just have to think, okay, I will get 100, 100, 100, and 100, and he doesn't get any position within the society, and he can't climb the ladder. Now, if you want our children to grow, give them time, give them flexibility. That's the only way to go. And that's why we propose this. And that's why this is actually the best way. Now, second argument will follow this last line of what I'm saying before, which is that human life is very limited. We must accept that. And every second of it must be done maximally. And it begins with education. Okay? First of all, human life is very limited. Life expectancy goes around 70 to 80 years of age. Okay, and 12 years school isn't enough. Isn't enough to make people have achievement of fulfillment in economics. It's just not enough. Okay? Why? Because basically it's just theories. If you want like data management or data analysis and also like coding, etc., you must do it outside of school, usually. Well, in Asiatic countries, you also can do schools like 8 hours or something that basically take too much of your time and energy. Okay, like buying uniforms or something. That's not necessary. By having online tertiary education, parents can have more time with their children. Children can have more time with themselves and their parents. And teachers can work in other places too. They have lesser wages than the other jobs. Please give them time. This is actually a good thing. Okay? So let's take some examples. Several teachers say it like this. We don't have that much wages. And yet we're so hard to teach you guys. You guys don't want to hear us. This is very reasonable. Why? Why is it reasonable? Because the thing is, they don't have that much wages compared to other jobs, and yet the other jobs get better paying than them. Teaching people from the beginning, from childhood, is something that must be done by two parents and teachers. And yet, the very necessary aspect in the society is paid less than it should be. Isn't it ironic? Well, it is very ironic actually. It is very ironic. And that's why we are very much supportive of this whole concept of transitioning towards online tertiary education. And that's why we're proud to propose this. Well, this is very important. Why should we consider all of this? Because overall human civilization is very much linked with the personal well-being of humans. Okay? Based on the notes that I have, basically people, if they are being satisfied personally, it will soon satisfy or make the satisfaction of the whole system of human life in the future. That's why the idea of democracy is born. That's why the idea of having personal freedom is born. Because people want their personal freedom. But even if in education you don't have that personal freedom, so that's still lacking. By making this the case, we can make personal freedom even more accessible to everyone. And this is in accordance to our principle. So by weighing the consequences of having permanent move towards tertiary education with the requirements of technological balance in all aspects, we ought to move, and this must be supported by anyone. Judges and panels, we are proud to propose this, and this should be the thing that should be done in the future. Thank you.